let's just appreciate the view first while we're at it. So the mic is broken. And out of all days, it decided to not work today. But I will not take it as a sign anymore because I've done that so many times. So many times. I procrastinated this episode, this podcast to the very end. And honestly, I regret it every single time. I'm not gonna do that again. So, if you're wondering why am I in this attire, I actually just came back from a run. As soon as I went out, I suddenly heard the pitter patter of the rainfall, the raindrops, but you know what? It was very light, it was very minimal. I just allowed it. I showed up, went out for a walk slash jog for 20 minutes because I believe that it will make me feel better. And honestly, it did. So I'm grateful. Anyways, it's been a while. So much has changed. And for instance, I have evolved from my purple notebook. I now have a red one. Such a grown-up thing. And I'm 20 years old now. I'm no longer in Brunei. I'm studying abroad. I'm in university. And there's a rainbow behind the camera, but it's very faint. I believe I am where God wants me to be. I love it. I love it here. The mic finally worked. Okay, I just needed to unlock my phone. That was the whole issue. Anyways, restart. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm your host, Rania, and welcome back to another episode of Sherry Cafe. In this episode, it's more kind of like something that I've been reflecting on. So I just recently turned 20, and of course, so many things have changed, many things have evolved. Like I mentioned in my episode of Love and Change, even as well as Love and Little Me, sometimes I miss the person that I was before. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that. Like it's not nostalgia. It's more like I was so much happier before. What went wrong? And so I journaled about it, and I feel like I want to read that journal to you today. So it's not for this episode, it's not going to be a teaching. It's not going to be like some sort of preach. It's more just sharing what I've been going through, and hopefully you guys can benefit from that. And as I've mentioned from my previous episodes, I don't want you all to put me on a pedestal and think that I'm someone above you that has the rights to give you life advice and I don't want you all to have this perspective of me as someone perfect because really no one is perfect. I've went through so many challenges. I wouldn't say it as difficult as some might go through, but your own challenges are just your own challenges, and it can be hard for some people to deal with that sometimes, depending on how you are, depending on how intelligent you are emotionally, depending on how well do you manage your feelings and your thoughts. And yeah, so that is what I will be doing today, just sharing my breakthroughs and it's just some things that I kind of miss, some things that I used to do that I miss now, and I wish I could implement it more as a 20-year-old. Because most of these happened when I was 14, 15, and back then I also loved doing recording myself speak. I also loved making vlogs, and after I rewatched all those vlogs and videos, it reminded me how wise I was beyond my years. It was almost as if I recorded those videos specifically for me to watch in this present moment, and I can't wait to share it with you all. So before we start, let's start off with our gratitude and affirmation. So, gratitude. First up, I'm grateful I can still see the world with perfect eyes and am still able to look at that sunset every single day. And I'm grateful to see the little rainbow peeking behind the clouds, right behind you all. And thirdly, I am grateful that I am restarting the podcast. Yeah. Okay, affirmations for today. I actually wrote it here. Okay, repeat after me. Just because my interests are different doesn't mean they're unimportant. Exactly, exactly. Let's start. Okay, so let's describe the kind of person I was a few years back. She was wise, carefree. She was never afraid to express herself. In what context am I talking about? In terms of style, the way she speaks, and for as a term now, she's not nonchalant. She would express her love to whoever she feels like deserves it. She never fails to offer a helping hand. She's just a great person overall, and if I were her friend, I would love to be around her all the time. Not because I'm biased, but it's just a fact. She was always creating, not really much of consuming. She really practiced healthy habits. She took good care of her body. She was very intentional with what she consumes in terms of food and content. She always takes her time. She lived in every moment. She was very full of love, full of confidence. She would always clap for others. And she loved to journal. And every time she does, it just attracts and manifests it to reality. I had to change the setting because it was already Maghrib outside. Do you know how we're not supposed to be outside when the sky is red? And I'm whispering because my parents are downstairs. I'm a little bit shy. I forgot to share the agendas. So actually, it's just the first agenda is describing the person that I was. Second is what I aspired to do from here onwards. Hopefully, you all can benefit from that, inshallah. So, okay, the past few days, right, I've been struck by lots of reminders of how I used to be. I realized that I don't feel quite comfortable in this state. I realize I haven't been like myself lately. And to my surprise, nature just works around itself and made me realize that, made me realize how much I missed being me. I was just randomly going through my Google Photos and I came across pictures of me when I was younger, 15, 16. And well, back then, I used to have very excessive acne. I walked out of the house with pride and confidence, no matter what was on my face. I hardly wore makeup back then too. I didn't even try to conceal it, and because of that, colors naturally flourished, bloomed on my face. I miss that I do not have to be ashamed for not wearing makeup. I miss those days when I don't feel like I have to fit in with everyone because it's a trend. And if you're not up to trend, you're lame. Secondly, I found my comfort YouTuber. I stopped watching her when I almost graduated and she graduated. So I haven't keep in touch with her videos in a long time. And seeing them back made me realize how similar our lives were, made me realize how much I used to follow her footsteps, and because of that, I was in my happiest, healthiest self. It made me realize, it made me reflect what kind of content have I been watching now, because I am pretty 100% sure I am the way that I am right now, majority because of the content that I watch. A lot has changed because I've been consuming videos with heavy information, with non-stop advices, non-stop tips and tricks in a short frame, in a short time frame. This is where the cognitive capacity came in. I saw a video about it. Reels and TikToks really damage the human brain because now you only watch what you like, and that's called cognitive bias, where your brain only chooses what it wants to watch because of that dopamine rush. And because of that, your brain itself like trains itself to only listen, to only look at the things that gives you that dopamine. So you completely ignore the things that do not give you dopamine but yet are still important in your life. And I feel like that's what I've been going through the past few days. I've been quite ignorant, procrastination and doom scrolling, for example. My third reminder was when I went out with a group of friends slash strangers yesterday, and these three people reminded me how creative I used to be. Okay, for context, a little backstory. These three people are the most creative people in my whole life, and they are not afraid, they are not ashamed to express themselves in that sense. You know how artists are? They just have their own way to express their art, even from their own body, even by their own body. They don't just express art in on mediums, but also on their body, and it really shows. One of them came with backpacks full of photography gear and a very vintage bottle that the army used to use. I don't know, hanging around his neck, and he wore it with pride. He had an antique camera, also brought it around with pride. And the other guy, he's just very expressive with what he talks about. No filters, blabbering whatever is on his mind. And I forgot how I used to be like that. Right now, I feel like I've filtered my words just for the sake of formality, for the sake of being liked. I do not have to be liked. I don't even like everyone. My friend told me I don't even like everyone. Why do I need everyone to like me? And the other one, which was my friend, she has a great sense of style and she's very articulate. She's a very articulate person. Really, like every artist does, like how they describe their art, that's how she speaks. And I aspire to speak like that. She also reminded me the person that I was when I used to be so brave in expressing myself with style. I wore whatever I want and it was beautiful. She told me she wants people to perceive her from a distance. So she meant that in the sense that she wants to dress in a way that when people see it, they immediately know the kind of person that she is. They do not have to talk to her. They can just see that okay, she's that kind of girl. I feel like I haven't been like that in a long time, and because I just want to fit in and blend, I've been dimming my light ever since lots of things have changed. Because I'm in a totally different place. My brain automatically thinks that you have to blend in. You have to make yourself stand out, but not in a sense where you look weird. But what's wrong about being weird? What's wrong about being a little different, a little unique? Expressing myself as if I'm a piece of art myself. Yeah. Let's read the rest of my journal, shall we? Who I was. I was the kind of girl who places herself, her health, her body before anyone else. I would fill in my off days with creating, not consuming. I used to cook, I used to write, I used to play, I used to paint. I used to have a routine that I practiced and showed up to every day. It didn't matter if external factors disrupted. I used to smile when I speak, and people would still take me seriously. I always tried to be myself as much as I can, and people who vibes with that will. I focused on family more than work. I watched slow, understimulating videos, not the type that gives me overloading advices. I was the kind to put my feet in the pool to look at how waves crash to one another instead of overthinking a past mistake I did. I loved my bare face. My eye bags were my favorite. My acne scars looked like freckles. I genuinely enjoyed putting on skincare because it makes me feel pretty, not because for the sake of looking pretty. Being in a country where you consume really reminded me how grateful I am to call Brunei home. In Brunei, I rarely go out to buy stuff during hangouts. In Brunei, I rarely consume than I create. In Brunei, I filled gaps with micro studying, and because of that, I always had time for other hobbies. I realized life is much more romantic when it's done the traditional way, and I miss that a lot. I love to take pictures. I love to post them too. I love to hold my sister, my mom, my dad's hands. I love to sleep early. I love to journal every night. I love seeing my vision board on my wall. I love getting things done. I love sharing what new things I discovered to my friends. I love having hobbies and interests, although they took my time, but at least I was happy. Never doubt your interests. Just because everyone else thinks they're different doesn't mean they're not unique. Doesn't mean that they're not important. And that's something that I want to be more mindful of. I don't want to disregard what I like. I don't want to disregard what I used to find joy in just for the sake of blending in. And I feel like many people do this, especially when they're put in situations where they have to be not like themselves just for the sake of being liked. Your interests, your hobbies matter a lot. They are who you are. They describe you. Carry it around with you with pride. The mic broke, but I was saying, people who vibe with that will. People who like you will always like you. People who don't will never like you, and that's okay. That's just life. Accept the kind of person that you are with open arms. You don't have to be ashamed of the way you speak, the way you look, what you like, what you don't like. People appreciate that. People appreciate honesty, and yeah, that is all for me. Thank you for watching my episode. I wish you all a happy, healthy life. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.